looked like the home of a nobleman. It had wood floors and real walls. There was a kitchen, a great room, a bedroom, and more. Ruskin flew to the top of the high ceiling and circled the great room. "Not bad," the prince exclaimed. Clara turned around, taking it all in. "Nobody would ever guess this tiny tent could have such a magnificent home inside." Grom waved them off and slipped on his hiking boots.
"Now, let's get to Goblin Falls before dark,"
Grom said, standing up and rubbing his hands together. "Before dark? What happens after dark?" Lucas asked nervously.
Grom paused awkwardly. "Why, because we can't see the beauty of the falls in the dark. That's all."
Lucas and Clara looked at each other in surprise. "I thought you said Goblin Falls was nothing special," Lucas said. Grom shrugged and said,
"Don't try to figure me out. Wizards are mysterious. Now, let's get going."
Chapter 2. Dire Howls. The forest trail was dark, except for the few shafts of sunlight that streamed through the trees. Lucas and Clara hopped over the spidery roots and moss-covered rocks to keep up with Grom. The wizard moved like a swift fox. His cloak fluttered behind him as he went down the trail. Lucas wondered if Grom had something else on his mind. The wizard wasn't acting like a happy hiker. His eyes were fixed on the trail, and his mouth was set in a thin, grim line. But Lucas pushed his concerns aside when he heard the thunderous roar of Goblin Falls in the distance. "We're getting close," Lucas called. The rumble got louder and louder as the path led out of the forest and up onto a ridge. Grom reached the falls first, followed by the kids and Ruskin. They gaped at the rapids plunging over the cliff. The water seemed to vanish into the earth. "Whoa!" cried Lucas. "It really does feel like you're on the edge of the world." Clara nodded and followed Lucas down the path beside the falls to get a better look. Suddenly, a sharp whistle rang out. The kids looked over at Grom. He waved at them wildly. Lucas and Clara raced back up the path to his side. "What's wrong?" asked Lucas. Grom had gone white with fear.
"Listen,"
he said. Lucas and Clara heard a faint sound above the booming falls. "Ow, ow, ow, ow!" "It sounds like dogs howling," Lucas said. Clara whispered, "Those aren't dogs. That's the cry of dire wolves." Lucas could not believe it. "Impossible. Dire wolves only come out at night. Why would they howl during the day?" More howls echoed, and Ruskin flew to Lucas. He patted his dragon on the head. "Don't worry, the wolves won't bother us." "Are you sure?" asked Clara. "My dad used to tell me lots of scary stories about dire wolves when I was younger."
"Lucas is right,"
Grom answered.
"Those were made-up stories to scare little children. Dire wolves would never approach a human, because they don't trust them."
Then Grom marched back down the forest path.
"We must return to the campsite."
Lucas and Clara could hear the concern in Grom's voice and moved to keep up with him. Ruskin also flew close behind. The sun began to set, and the trail became harder to follow. Darkness was everywhere, and the howling wolves turned the once friendly forest creepy. The kids and Grom hiked quickly, without a word, until they reached the campsite.